Hi everyone, how are you doing today? It's Princess Brittany, and thank you for tuning in to my Soul Versation Lifestyle YouTube channel. Y'all, okay, there are some things going on in the world that we should not be taking lightly. And in the world, when I say in the world, I mean right here in our own backyards in America. Y'all, we need to pay very, very close attention to the inflation situation that is going on, to the loss of truck drivers that are happening rapidly on a daily basis. Don't just get caught up in the rat race and then it affects you and you don't know, you're not prepared. Be prepared, be ready, be aware of the supply and demand and workforce needs in your community. So let me explain to you a little bit what's going on. There is a vaccine mandate that has been set by our current President Biden, and it is affecting truck drivers. And these truck drivers are refusing to get the vaccine. So, in response to their refusal to get the vaccine, well, they're quitting their jobs or they're getting fired. And so we're getting closer and closer to the holiday season. And I notice every time that I go grocery shopping that there's less and less supply to meet the demand. And that says a lot, because I live in a neighborhood where, you know, when there were like scarce shelves in other part of the country, my grocery store was completely stocked. Not anymore. Now it kind of seems like the opposite. Now it seems like other stores are completely stocked and our shelves are like scarce. And it is a little bit frightening because I don't have a garden. I don't have the money to go out and buy a house and start a farm. I probably won't have that money anytime soon over the next few years. So I'm in the same boat as a lot of average struggling Americans. And, we're the little people. We are the little people who are really just, you know, trying to make ends meet to feed our children so our children don't starve, you know. And sometimes it comes down to having to choose between uh, feeding yourself or feeding your family. And that's the reality of it, deciding as a mother, can we have meat this week? Or, you know, uh, can we afford to buy juice? It's really the reality that we live in today. And so I'm always talking about manifesting things. And I really want to put the energy that I have right now in today, put my intention in today into manifesting another stimulus check, and hoping that when that stimulus bill and relief funds are brought forward, that it is not met with bipartisan. Um, I don't want it to be met with bipartisan bullshit. This is, feeding families and helping children to get Christmas gifts, or even just to pay bills, or just to pay our, to make sure that people who don't feel comfortable with getting the vaccine can pay their bills. It's not fair to punish someone for not being vaccinated. And especially when that someone is providing for millions of people every day, to be able to nourish their families. It's not fair to not give them what they need to be able to pay their bills because they're exercising their constitutional rights. And I don't agree with everything that the president does, but I have to say that I don't agree mostly with politicizing things that should not be partisan. So this vaccine situation has been politicized. There's nothing we can do about that. I accept that. But what we can do is put our energy into manifesting, you know, a new stimulus check and a American Relief Bill that will, expand the child tax credit. For me, as a mother who has more than one child, it would be really helpful if the child tax credit could be extended, for several years, not just 5 years, but let's just make it permanent so that, kids like mine can have a chance. Not everybody can afford to have an extravagant life and be unaffected by this pandemic. We are all affected. I have been paying probably $300 more per month in groceries than I normally would because of inflation. And we're at that point in time where we really need to be focused on contacting our local representatives and getting them to advocate for a stimulus package that will help the little people like us. Okay, so I just wanted to do this video to remind you that, we have the power. Maybe we don't have the power to keep the president from mandating these vaccines for companies, but we do have the power to advocate for a stimulus check and to continue advocating for financial relief for the people who need it the most. Us little people, especially our children. Single mothers are hurting the most right now. We're really just trying to keep it together because it's a day-to-day situation. We don't know when the schools are going to be closed. We don't know, when we'll have to go back to remote learning. We don't know anything in advance anymore. So we're just playing it by ear and have our finances affected by that as well, with inflation and the cost of everything just rising, or not being able to get something from the store just because it's not there. It is frightening. So we are not going to be controlled by fear. We are going to be empowered by our voices, and use your voice to advocate for another stimulus package and the extension of the child tax credit. Okay, y'all? You can do it. I believe in you, and I believe in the power of what we can do together when our voices are combined. Okay, well, I hope you're inspired to make a change in your neighborhood, and pray for all of us to be happy, healthy, and successful as we weather this tumultuous storm of a pandemic. All right, y'all, be well.